I think other than the very intrinsic scientific issues, we are more or less aware of the severity of the situation. We know the severity. We know that we are living on a time bomb, and we take it granted that it will never explode. The situation is like this. Me, myself, as a pharmaceutical or pharmacy professional, I would like to address the issue in a different way, and I will take maybe 5 to 7 minutes. Before I make my comment, I would like to recall one event that took place on 12th June 1989. That time President Ershad, in his secretariat, to what is today Prime Minister's Secretariat, a meeting was held, not a meeting, a small ceremony, where the government decided in a meeting chaired by the President of the Republic that since then no antibiotic would have been prescribed other than a formatted prescription which was launched on that day in presence of the national professors like Professor Nurul Islam, Professor Emmer Khan, and I had the opportunity to be there. As that time I was the General Secretary of Bangladesh Pharmaceutical Society. It was an official decision that the antibiotics should be prescribed in a particular format of the prescription, and no pharmacy will dispense any antibiotic to anybody if not produced in that format. And the President of the Republic officially, he launched that particular format of the antibiotic prescription. I am referring to this because today, it's about 33 years ago what I am talking about, we stand even behind what was achieved on that day. That's the unfortunate part with us and the most dangerous part with us. Globally, problems will come. Pandemic, this corona came, something else will come. Once a flu came. In our part of the Bengal, cholera was a disaster in the 30s and 40s. Villages after villages were eliminated. So the problems will come and the problems will be solved. But the most dangerous part is that not to be aware of the problem. The dangerous part is that to let the problem roll over like this. Unfortunately, in today's or in Bangladesh or in maybe this part of the world, we are allowing the problem to grow and grow, and without realizing one day it will burst to a situation when it will be a catastrophe. Our very distinguished Secretary of Health is here. And so I take the opportunity of addressing the issue. There are many ways of addressing the issue. Professor Arnold has indicated a couple of things. I think there are few intervention points. One, the prescription. Two, dispensing of the medicine to the user or to the patient. And third, to do something with the public awareness. In the prescription point, we are a country where we don't have any treatment protocol. We don't have any antibiotic protocol nationally. Even our hospitals, as such, not in my knowledge, if any hospital has got any particular antibiotic protocol for that matter. Maybe exceptionals, maybe there are one or two. I don't know what of the ICW, maybe they have one. But we must have a national antibiotic policy, a national antibiotic protocol. Every hospital must have their own antibiotic protocol, and the prescribers should be guided by that. The protocol will be formulated by the prescribers in association. Usually in other countries it is taken by the clinical pharmacist or the clinical biochemist, but in our country, since there is no clinical pharmacist, we can forget that chapter. So let the doctors develop a protocol for themselves and let them follow it. This is one. Second, I am coming in the dispensing point. This is a country where we have been trying, but until today, all controlled drugs can be bought without any prescription. Any antibiotic can be bought and administered to a person without any, professional handling. In those days, in 89, 90, in the 90s, a decision was under formulation that the pharmacies would have been classified into two categories. The ones which would have been of proper pharmacy, only they could dispense any and every drug under the proper professional way. And other would be called sort of a medicine shop, and they wouldn't be allowed to dispense or sell antibiotics or any controlled drug, narcotics, antibiotics, sedatives, etc. I am talking about the 90s. That time the International Network for Rational Use of Drugs, which we shortly called INROAD, was quite active. Our professors and medical professors were also very active over there, but then it got lost in the wind. I think the Minister of Health, our distinguished Secretary Sir is here. I think this is the high time that we really get into the work. COVID has done one positive thing. It has taught us how to get the nation mobilized. It has given us the ways and means how to make a general awareness in the public. So I think Minister of Health very successfully handled the vaccination program of the COVID and the management of the COVID in a given country like Bangladesh with so much of limitations. I think that some ministry can very effectively take the step of generating public awareness. This is extremely important to have this. So my suggestion is that we are living in a country, possibly only one or maybe not more than 20 countries like us. We are in a country where there is not a single pharmacy graduate in any government hospital today. This is very unique. Whenever I go to International Federation Congress or something like that, people don't want to believe it. No graduate pharmacists. The paramedic pharmacist we are calling and pharmacy assistant we are labeling them as pharmacists. As the madam said that in villages the pharmacists are dispensing. The pharmacists are not dispensing because there is not a single pharmacist in the peripheral, any pharmacy. Nobody. Had there been pharmacists, this indiscriminate abuse of medicines might have been controlled to a greater extent. So I would seek the attention of the Honorable Secretary. Let's make certain intervention. Let's do something. Third is public awareness. Professor Anwar has shown the veterinary use of the antibiotics, and from there we have left the use of antibiotics on the veterinary side as if it is not affecting us. As it is cows and horses and dogs, so it doesn't affect us. The meat that we are taking, he has shown Pseudomonas. Pseudomonas is one of the most notorious bacteria that we can have. And in Pseudomonas, it's always a combination drug, and streptomycin is often used. The same streptomycin is most widely abused in the veterinary sector. So we are taking a beef or a mutton or something, and it got some streptomycin retained in the body. Without any disease, I am eating that beef. I am taking streptomycin in my body, and if tomorrow somehow or other we are infected by this Pseudomonas, that streptomycin is not going with that. And with managing Pseudomonas, you have a very limited choice of antibiotics. So without any fault of mine, without knowing even, I am subjecting myself to a multi-drug resistance, which I only realize when I am lying in the bed of the ICU and my heartbeat is bleeping and my relatives are waiting outside just to see when I leave the earth. So that is the hard part of life. Let us have this realization. Here all the pharmacy students, I think in the future you are going to have a noble task, a challenging task to handle this issue. Whenever you enter into the profession, please bear it in mind and do your job. If each of us do our job collectively, then the job is done. I would not like to prolong any further. So my concrete suggestion, number one, we must have national antibiotic protocol. Number two, every hospital must have antibiotic protocol. Number three, as soon as possible, there should be arrangements of employing hospital pharmacists in the hospitals, and the medicines in the hospitals must be managed professionally. Number four, the retail pharmacies and the medicine shops should be developed to retail pharmacy. And there, we have made model pharmacies. Unfortunately, I don't want to make any comment, but not a model pharmacy like that. We want a real pharmacy where the pharmacy trained graduates will dispense medicine to the safety and service of the people of my country. And finally, let's generate a general public awareness so that people do not take antibiotics indiscriminately. With these humble suggestions, I would like to conclude and thank you very much for inviting me over here, and I would like to congratulate the Faculty of Pharmacy here for having arranged such a down-to-earth, pragmatic seminar of this day. Inshallah, you will continue and all our support will be there. Thank you very much.